Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I hope you're having a great day wherever you're watching today. Make sure you smash that like button so YouTube knows that you're rocking with your boy BT and True School Sports. Got the thermal shirt on. We don't get a chance to really wear these thermal shirts in South Florida too much, but I'm on my Rikers Island. I'm on my jail cell swag with this shirt on. But yeah, it's a nice shirt. But anyway, in regards to Anthony Joshua, let's talk about AJ because there's a lot surrounding AJ's name in light of his recent performance against Andy Ruiz Jr. And a lot is being made of, okay, now he's beat Ruiz, now he's champion again. What is his next move? Now, he's got options. This man's got options. And, in life, you want to have options. And Anthony Joshua has options. Obviously, he can come back to America and fight at Madison Square Garden. The floodgates are now open for him to fight in the Middle East, and him and Eddie Hearn have openly expressed a desire to come back to Saudi Arabia for a fight. I don't think they'll go there unless it's a big fight, and then obviously he can go fight in the UK, which he hasn't done. He didn't do all this here. He fought in America in June, and he fought in Saudi Arabia in December. So now that he's champion again, and he's gonna probably take a mandatory against someone along the likes of Kubrat Pulev, he kind of owes the UK fans a fight, and he wants to give the UK fans a fight. And what's being rumored right now is probably the front runner for what he'll do next. He's probably going to fight Kubrat Pulev and fulfill his IBF mandatory obligation and fight him at the brand new, sparkling, just jewel of a stadium, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which has been, the site of a lot of different types of sporting events. Obviously the Tottenham Hotspur Football Club play there. But also, the NFL has brought American football to England, and like my Carolina Panthers, shout out to the Carolina Panthers. They played games there, and they've had a number of American football games in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So he hasn't fought there yet. It's a new venue. It's in London. The logistics make sense, and he didn't fight all year in the UK this year. So I would expect that to come off next. But Anthony Joshua has expressed a desire to go back and fight at Madison Square Garden, saying simply, I quote, 100% I will go back and fight at Madison Square Garden. Now, Eddie Hearn did chime in and say that there is a lot that must be done before they even fight at Madison Square Garden again, but at least, you have Anthony Joshua who wants to rewrite the wrongs of the debacle that was his American debut, because let's have it right, man. His American debut was a catastrophe of the highest order. I mean, it was supposed to be one of the biggest heavyweight debuts our country had seen in quite some time, and it wound up being, something that was a blemish on his career. And even though he's champion again, it still is a blemish on his career. And I think Anthony Joshua, has that desire to want to be a world champion, because he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. He's from the country of England. I'm sure he'll go fight in Africa at some point during his career. He fought in America once, but he didn't win in America, and he looked horrible in America. And for people in America, people that might be their only image of Anthony Joshua, getting folded up by Andy Ruiz. So I think he would do a lot for himself and his ambitions to be a global icon if he comes back to America, wins in sensational fashion, and builds his profile a bit in America. He would be a lot bigger. He's already big now. He's already a massive star, but he would be that much bigger if he could become a hit in America, which I think he will be. So that settles that. He has no problem going back to America. But switching gears, a lot about Anthony. There was a lot made of Anthony Joshua's newly refined style, and it was actually revealed as to what and who he was watching that influenced this performance. And I found this pretty interesting in this article. So go read it. The article's in the description. He studied a couple fights and a couple of fighters. So here's what he said. So apparently he studied the 1982 fight between Kirkland Lang and Roberto Duran, when Kirkland Lang defeated Roberto Duran. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I haven't even watched that fight. I don't know much about it, but he studied that fight, so that's one I'm gonna have to go do my homework on. But yeah, he studied Kirkland Lang's 1982 upset win over Roberto Duran. But he also revealed some other things that I found pretty interesting. Now, in one of the quotes, he says, I watched a comparison of Riddick Bowe and Larry Holmes comparing the jab and Tommy Hearns. Now, the reason I bring this all up, the reason that this is relevant to this video, is because I think there's a high percentage, there's a high chance that Anthony Joshua watched my channel. Anthony Joshua was on True School Sports. I believe he watched True School Sports because, and I'm going to tell you why I think he watched True School Sports, because he said, I watched a comparison of Riddick Bowe and Larry Holmes comparing the jab. Now, I did a video 3 years ago, back in 2016. I did a film study video. One of the only film study videos I've ever did. I did a film study video, and it was about Riddick Bowe and Larry Holmes and comparing the jab between the two fighters. And that video has over 100,000 views. So I'll leave for you guys right over here, and you can go watch it for yourself and come to your own surmise. Right here, go watch it. So yeah, I think Anthony Joshua might have watched his channel, and I mean, like, if you type in Riddick Bowe's name on YouTube, you know, the probability of you finding a Riddick Bowe from my video from my channel is very, very high. So listen, AJ, I don't know if you're out there, but if you watch True School Sports, thanks, man. Thanks for the support. I'm happy that one of my film study videos played a role in you becoming heavyweight champion again. If the video you're talking about is the one I made, because I made a video about Riddick Bowe and Larry Holmes and comparing their jabs. So I'm gonna have to get confirmation on that from him if I ever meet him. But yeah. Anyway, not to get too far off topic. Anthony Joshua got back to basics in this fight. It looked like he really captured his love for boxing again. And you know, it all kind of started when he lost to Ruiz, and then all of a sudden he goes back to Nigeria. He goes to his homeland. He gets back in touch with his roots as far as his culture. Then he went back and got in touch with his roots in the boxing ring. He went back to Finchley ABC and got back in the gym. And then he dug into the history of boxing, which I think is, you always have, if you're involved in boxing, whether you're a manager, a YouTuber, a writer, a fighter, I always think you should be trying to delve into the history of boxing, because the history of boxing is so deep, so rich, you'll never really truly know it all. And there's always something to learn. There's always a fight to watch. But it looks like that's what he did. He went back. He watched Riddick Bowe. He watched Larry Holmes. He watched Tommy Hearns, and he moved just like these guys in the ring. And I was telling my boy Jasper, he's moving like these guys in the ring. So Anthony Joshua has refound his hunger for boxing again, and I'm really happy for him. I'm really happy for the division. I'm really happy for what it's going to do for the sport of boxing, because it wouldn't be any fun if Anthony Joshua faded to obscurity, right? Andy Ruiz got fat, and then the only two heavyweights that were going to be at the top were Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder for the foreseeable future. You know, obviously there's good prospects. There's Daniel Dubois. There's Hergeman. There's guys like that. But I'm talking about right now, and here in the now, in 2019, December 2019. It would have been a crying shame if we only had two great heavyweights. Now we have three. It's the big three again. It was the big three with Ruiz as the third. Now it's the big three again. Now with Joshua as the third. So it's good for the division. Shout out to Anthony Joshua. He wants to rewrite his wrongs and come back to the States. I hope he does. I think he should go the Muhammad Ali route, and he should fight at Miami like Muhammad Ali at Marlins Park. I think they could do that. I think it'd be a massive event. But you know, who am I? I'm just a kid from Dania who talks boxing. But yeah. So shout out to Anthony Joshua. And yeah, that's what it is. I know I'm rambling. I know I got a bit off tangent here, but I got kind of excited when reading that, because I really believe to the core of my bones that Anthony Joshua watched my video on True School Sports, but we don't know for sure. It just, the way he described it, it just sounds exactly like the video I made, and I know that nobody made that video. Nobody else on YouTube made that video. So, you know, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Anthony Joshua wants to come back to America at some point. He might fight at the Tottenham Hotspur's new stadium. Obviously, the door is open to fight in Saudi Arabia. He could always go back and fight in Africa, which is something I know he wants to do before his career is over. What do you want to see Anthony Joshua do next? Let me know in the comments down below. Personally, I would like to see Anthony Joshua, even though I know he failed like 4 drug tests, and I know that you don't want the guy to get paid, get the AJ payday. I would still love to see Anthony Joshua versus Jarrell Miller, because of the fact that it's just entertaining. Like, I think the build-up was just entertaining. I think it would be entertaining again. Jarrell Miller has since then been popping his, been going off some more, and talking some more. So yeah, man. I hope that happens. I doubt it will, but you know, of the realistic options, you know, your realistic options right now are Kubrat Pulev and Alexander Usyk. I think those are the only 2 legitimate options, because he's not gonna fight Wilder. He's not gonna fight Fury next. So that's an easy one. You want to see him fight Usyk. You know, I want to see how good Usyk is. You got the undisputed. You would have the undisputed former cruiserweight champion versus the current unified heavyweight champion. You know, you get a guy who has refined his style versus a guy who's skill for skill is one of the best pound for pound fighters in boxing. Maybe even the best pound for pound fighter in boxing, Alexander Usyk. It's a hell of a matchup. So the WBO recently ordered that, so they have 180 days to get it made. I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Joshua vacated either one of the belts because he's got mandatory obligations to fulfill, and I don't think he's going to be able to fulfill them all unless he decides to pay step-aside money to somebody. So we'll see how it all develops. We'll definitely be covering it here on True School Sports, but I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Love getting comments from you guys. Love all the support I've been getting from the UK. And yeah, if you're out here, let me know. We can get up and talk, make a video, all that good stuff. But yeah, leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.